Welcome to Bloodbath and Beyond. Today we review Murder Party. Everybody dies.
Written and directed by Jeremy Saulnier of Green Room fame, starring Chris Sharp, Stacey Rock, Sandy Barnett, William Lacey, Paul Goldblatt, Macon Blair, and Bill Tangradi. This movie's about Chris, a weird guy just walking down the street who stumbles upon an invitation to a Halloween party, or a murder party. He had planned on watching some horror movies, but his dickhead cat decided to steal his chair. So he whips up a costume and a loaf of pumpkin bread with raisins and heads to the murder party.
The invitation said murder party. If some jackass is dumb enough to come here, then he deserves to die.
So what do we like?
I liked Chris. As awkward as he was, this type of character was perfect for this style of film because you're doing like a Tucker and Dale type of thing where it's mainly accidental deaths. So having someone who is quirky and just weird witnessing all of this really brings home the humor in the oddness of this film.
I don't deserve to be punished.
Yeah, well, Chris is our main character. He's not the main focus of the film, which is very interesting in itself because this is mainly about a group of art students that are trying to suck up to this one guy who has $300,000 for an art school grant. So they're all here to murder somebody, but also make art of it. So some people want to make a video about it, some people want to take a picture, maybe another guy just wants to paint it. Everyone has their own ideas of how they want this night to go. I think all of the characters are pretty great because they're all unique. It adds for a lot of confusion and fun moments.
And the type of humor of this film I really enjoyed because it's unexpected laugh out loud humor. You think it's gonna go in one direction and then they just go complete opposite.
In this review, we're definitely glossing over things because I think everything is basically a spoiler. So we're not really gonna talk about many things that in depth. But like the one location setting really helps with everything because you get into like everybody's minds and you try and figure out like, what are they even doing here? Do they want to be here, first of all? And how can Chris use all of their weaknesses to his advantage?
And it is kind of interesting when you see the foreshadowing of how people are gonna die. So it's pretty interesting to like pay close attention to the details, which will later on reveal their deaths.
I like the cinematography in this as well because it is very conversational between the characters. So not only do the characters have to deliver their lines with great timing, but because they're using kind of like long takes, the way that they're able to like respond to each other, you can't tell if these are actually the lines that they were fed or they're improvising at certain moments.
Without spoiling anything, when people die, the practical effects do look good. I don't know what I like more, the reactions after they get injured, because it's very like nonchalant how they don't even realize they're dying.
It smells like cut grass.
And I really like the final act, because everything else is like a slower character build, but the end is fantastic. I really enjoyed just how crazy things do get. Now, what didn't we like? It's hard to exactly pinpoint what I didn't like about the humor, but like sometimes I really liked it, and then sometimes it wasn't for me.
When our masterpiece is complete and the coroner's report is back in, it will read the cause of death. Art.
The gag of how there's so many different styles of art does come off as overplayed in this film. I get that that's how they're developing and pushing the characters, but it's a joke that's too predictable.
And that's similar to the way that the humor is here because you have jokes that are just like deadpan, you have one-off witty remarks, and then you also have like slapstick humor. So there's all types of different comedy at play all at the same time, but I wasn't down with all of the humor.
I also had mixed feelings with the pacing of this film, only because I understand where they were going with this and spacing everything out, because early on, we have one accidental death, and then right at the very end, it's just like a gong show, which is like a wild and fun ride, but there's that lull in the middle. And I don't know if we needed to have more people dying in between to create tension or nervousness between all of the artists, because really they're just like bickering back and forth about their art styles, when instead we could have a situation of, oh no, someone else is dead, Are we going too far? What are we gonna do next? But we don't get that. And then at the end, it's just like everything feels too rushed. The breaking point happens in an instant.
I didn't like Alexander.
I don't think anybody liked Alexander.
Well, I'm gonna kill you all, and then I'm gonna sell it. Art isn't worth anything until you're dead.
He was meant to be a dick, and he did a good job at that.
He did a fine job. Like, I get that, oh, he's got all this money and he can pay for his school, but the way that everybody was just like bending a knee for this dickhead, like, come on.
Bending a knee? They were doing more than that.
Now it's time for our final thoughts and ratings. Murder Party is an interesting movie, and I think it is a movie that you should watch if you haven't seen it already. And the fact that it's done by Jeremy Saulnier, I think it's worth seeing his older work. It takes place on Halloween, which is fun. We do have some practical kills, some interesting comedy, well, not all hits. Some of it is pretty funny, and some pretty good cinematography. I do like one location movies, but I'm not sure that this one was paced like I like my one location movies. There wasn't enough like fun things going on, I think. Or even enough interaction with Chris, our main lead. I don't know. So it was right down the middle for me. So I'm gonna give this 2.5 Confederate flag belt buckles out of 5.
And you have a Confederate belt buckle.
This is a wallet.
This is a film that I have a lot of mixed feelings for because I found myself enjoying it. I liked our characters, I liked the story, and I liked the location, but I kind of wish things were a little bit different. And my biggest issue has to be with the pacing. There's just too much of a chunk that I think something should have happened given the direction that the story was going in. I do agree that having someone like Chris as a sit-in character was a wasted opportunity. You could have added more to the humor by letting him interact with the others as the story goes on, leading to potentially more accidental deaths instead of everything just coming near the end. But at the same time, I liked the ending. I liked how chaotic it was. I liked our chase scene, and everything was well executed. But this film did deliver with great characters, great kills, and a very interesting story. So with that being said, I'm gonna give this film 3.5 trying to fit in out of 5.
As always, thank you for watching. Like this video and comment below with your thoughts on the film if you've seen it. If you haven't and you do want to check it out, links are in the description. And if this is your first time here, make sure you subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with everything Bloodbath and beyond.